The biggest thing that happened this week in cryptocurrency? YouTube took down most of the crypto channels. Hello and welcome back to the weekly crypto review. Fortunately, my channel is too damn small for YouTube to notice. Let's take a look and see what we got here. First off, as always, if you think that what I'm giving you is valuable, like, subscribe, share this video, and if you'd really like to support the channel, feel free to send a little crypto my way to any of these addresses. You can find them at cryptocurious.tv/support. So, as you've probably heard by now, the crypto industry channels, the cryptocurrency channels on YouTube got a fantastic Christmas present. Christmas Day, they all got strikes or warnings or something. I say they. We've got an entire list of channels, and this actually isn't all of them, because at the bottom is Data Dash. He also was on there. I follow a bunch of these, or at least I have watched a bunch of these. I won't say that I follow all of them, but I've watched a bunch of them. And so, yeah, Christmas Day, YouTube takes out the entire crypto industry on their platform. There, of course, have been a lot of conspiracy theories. Actually, the best one I've heard is that YouTube doesn't like the fact that there is competition. Most of these channels had already started backup channels on places like Library, and if they hadn't, a lot of them moved there. Library is a platform that is blockchain based, and because YouTube is owned by Google, well, Google and YouTube specifically are notorious for contacting places like PayPal or Visa and MasterCard and saying, hey, did you know that these people that you're processing payments for are white supremacists or whatever, and getting people's revenue streams removed. If you can't get your credit card transaction processed, you can't get any money, which is, of course, why I always tell you, hey, if you'd like to support the channel, come here and send some cryptocurrency. Here are the addresses. I've got Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and BAT. I've got others, but these are the four that I think are most relevant. And of course, you can always just download the Brave browser. I've got the link in my description. If you download that and you use it for 30 days, I get $5 in BAT. I do not ever want to be at the whim of Silicon Valley. For many reasons, not the least of which are my political views and this idea that free money should be free, that people should have the right to transact with whomever they decide to without government or other intervention, which is what crypto, Bitcoin specifically, is all about. Now, of course, at this point, YouTube has reinstated all of these channels and said, oh, we're sorry, we made a mistake. Did they? Did they really? Not so sure about that. So, yeah, and so as like with most of these others, I have set up an account on Library, lbry.com, and I will be uploading videos there as well as YouTube, so that should something happen to this channel, I will have another place that I am secure in the fact that they're going to allow me to continue uploading information so that you can see it. So anyway, this video, I wanted it to be, since we're the last week of the year, I really did want it to be a video looking forward as far as what I believe is going to happen in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and altcoins over the next year, which other people have been doing, but I thought, I've got some thoughts on this I want to put out there. So the first thing is, everybody wants to know what the price is going to be this time next year. Just the end of December 2020. And I think most people are going to be disappointed. At least it's where they think it should be at today is not where it's going to be at. What I did, and let's see if I can find this. Oh, well, that was the other one. This is the one I'm looking for. So what I did was I went, and of course this chart is from Coinbase, and Coinbase just doesn't have the history. So I went out to another exchange, which has a longer history, and I looked up the last couple of bull markets in Bitcoin, and I looked to see after the previous bull market peak, when did Bitcoin on the next bull market reach that level again? So if we're looking at the last bull market coming up at just under $20,000, well, actually, what it was so let's look at the last one. The last bull market, with the previous bull market before this last one, ended 2013, December 2013, and Bitcoin got to around $1,200 a coin. It then dropped over the next year or more down to a couple of $100 or less, and then slowly started to work its way back up. Well, when did it get back up to $1,200? And what I found was that looking at a weekly chart, it was 169 bars or 1,183 days. Just under 1,200 days, we'll put it that way. It took just under 1,200 days from the prior peak of the market to get back to that level, okay, $1,200. So I extended this line out here, 169 bars or 1,183 days. Where does it get to? Well, it ends right here at March 8th of 2021. Okay, so December of 2020, I expect the price is still going to be under $20,000, maybe $15,000, $18,000. It will not have gone above $20,000 over the next year. I think that's a fairly accurate and stable prediction on my part. I know that most people are going to be very disappointed with that, but when you think about it, again, as I have stated, and let's put a trend line here, right about here, this $1,100, $11,600 mark. You'll see right here we've got resistance here, we've got resistance here. Okay, it didn't act as much as support back here when we needed it, but we have a lot of resistance. Once we get above it and we start heading back up, it's going to act as support. And we have 1, 2, 3 times where we closed or opened at this level. That is really good support. And so once we get above that 11,500, 11,600 mark, we're never going to get below 10,000 again. I am very confident in that prediction. And so once we get back up here, we may be bouncing off of it a little bit, but we're going to be in this channel between 11,500 and 20,000 until March of 2021. I absolutely believe that, and I don't see that as a problem. Because remember, this big ramp up here in the last bull market, if we go back here, it was only, let's see, let's do this. Let's take a look and see from the point where we can really see it happening, which is about, well, let's do it from here. And we go to the peak. All right, that's 182 days, about 6 months. Let's verify that. So we've got, June 12th of 2017 to December 11th, 2017, so 6 months. So if you believe in the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin, that means that it'll be the end of 2021, that Bitcoin jumps up, it moons, it goes parabolic, and that actually works out very well, because if we hit $20,000 at around March, beginning of March of 2021. Give it a couple of weeks, a month or two, for the news to start filtering, because as soon as it hits 20,000, as soon as Bitcoin gets back up to its all-time high, you know that you're going to start hearing about Bitcoin on CNBC, MSNBC, Forbes, Bloomberg. All of those channels are going to be talking about Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin. It's back up. It's time to buy in again. Well, of course, we're smarter than that. We bought down here. We bought below $10,000. So we're really going to be happy when it gets up here to 20, because at that point, the media is going to start into their chant of buy Bitcoin. And if you listen closely, you will hear them. You'll hear it in the background. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy. They won't actually be saying those words, but that's in effect what they're going to be telling everybody who's watching them. And at that point, give it a few weeks, a couple of months, and you will start to see that line, that trend line, go up and go up parabolic. And that will, so that'll put us, let's say it starts in April, May. Let's say it starts in May. That would put us at November of 2021, which is exactly 4 years, minus a month, from where this cycle started. Okay, 4-year cycle. So, started at December 18th of 2017? 4 years ahead. Yes, that's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 is the 4th year. So, November, December of 2021, I fully expect that's when Bitcoin is going to peak, and this goes along right with it. So, 2020 is going to be a growth year. It's going to slowly work its way from where we're at now. I mean, let's face it, we're a week away from 2020. The next time you see this, it will be 2020. So we have a year, little over a year. Yeah, a year and 3 months, year and a quarter, to get from the current price, which is $71.94, up to around $20,000. That's my prediction, is we will get up to just below, in the next year, just below $20,000. It'll be around March, April of 2021 that we start to see above 20,000. I'm not surprised. I am not upset. I am not in any way frightened by this. This is the way the market works. I have seen it over and over again, and this is a very bullish forward look. This is extremely bullish, because again, I expect that by the end of 2021, I expect the price to be at over $100,000. I expect all of those news media outlets, those cable news channels, to push Bitcoin to the point where it meets and exceeds at least $100,000 per coin. I think it'll be twice that, a little more than twice that. I think it'll be $250,000 per coin. And I have some tools that will help us determine when it's time to get out before the price drops again. So, and again, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not telling you what to invest in or to invest in anything. I am simply giving you information as I see it, my opinion. That's really what this comes down to. This is my opinion. Okay? And you're free to go with it or not. But the other thing is that as Bitcoin rises, I think we're going to see altcoins rise as well. I think we're going to see the altcoin revolution. And it's not going to be... I think that a lot of altcoins, as Bitcoin goes up in price, especially after it gets above that $20,000, I think the alt market is going to rise. A rising tide raises all boats. I think that that's going to happen to a certain degree, but I think there are going to be specific altcoins that will do much better than others. Okay? I think that chances are good that by the time it's done rising, I think that Litecoin will be close to $1,000 per coin. That seems reasonable to me. I think that Ethereum has a good chance of going into 5 digits for price, $10,000 to $20,000 per coin. I think that's a very good potential. I think BAT and Chainlink As cheap as they are now, I think that they have the potential to be between $10 and $100 per coin, possibly more. I think they, if any of them, I think those are two coins that have a high potential to make a whole lot of money. Again, it's only making you money if you pull your money out at the right time, at near the top of the market. And we're going to be watching our charts. We're going to watch several charts, and we're going to let the data tell us, when do we get out. Now that we're in, when do we get out? But that is how I see things going. I think that it'll be a slow rise through 2020. You've got plenty of time at this point to continue putting money in, and if you're putting money in on a regular basis, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever that is, if you're putting in the same or similar amount on a regular basis, you're going to come out of this very well off, because it's what's called dollar cost averaging. You're averaging what the asset costs you by getting in at different prices. Some of them lower, some of them higher. So the average cost of each Bitcoin or each Satoshi that you purchase is going to be lower because you're putting it in at a regular basis. And I think you're going to find when you do the math, after if you pull out, or even if you don't, even if you let the Bitcoin ride, because again, when this bull market drops, when we go into a bear market, it's not going to drop down here below $10,000. We're never going to see $10,000 or less ever again for a Bitcoin. So if you bought your Bitcoin down here, you're going to be very well off. The next bear market, because again, I'm expecting Bitcoin by the end of this bull market, I'm expecting Bitcoin to be $250,000 a coin. Drop that by 80%, you get a price of around $30,000 to $40,000. So the bottom of the next bear market will be well above the top of the last bull market. So even if you don't get out at the top and you just hold on to your Bitcoin, you're still going to come out way ahead of where you started. That's the nature of markets. Again, this is not financial advice. This is simply my experience in the markets, the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin markets specifically. So even if you hold on, even if you hodl on and you don't worry about swing trading like I'm going to do, you should still come out ahead if you're buying your Bitcoin at this price. All the way up to $20,000 is a good price if the price never drops down below that again. So anyway, that's the video for this week. I don't want to keep you too long. We will catch you next week. Until then, keep hodling.